Hi, my name is Mr. Eastman. I'm here at the Career Center. I teach Construction 1 and 2. Right now, my students are working on coasters. We have been doing an epoxy project, and we've been doing these small riverboard coasters. Instead of a big river table, we're doing the smaller ones. We've got a bunch of them already made that are going to be sold at our store here. And we've got some more that are in the process of being made. We're going to pour some later on this afternoon. Hopefully you can come back and see that process of the epoxy actually being poured. So, but they're in the sanding process right now. They'll finish up the sanding, and then we'll cut them up and we'll put a chamfer on them, and then we'll put a clear finish, and then they'll be able to take these home. These are their personal ones. They've helped me make a bunch of them that we will be selling in the store for our activity funds. So look forward to seeing these shortly on sale at the A-Leaf Center. And we've just been working on this for like the last 6 weeks, and this has been a lot of fun projects for the students to do. They help me make some, and then they get to take their own home. So they get to choose the kind of wood that they want to use, they get to choose the color, and then the epoxy, you just pour them and have a good time. Now what do you do with it? Flip it over and do this side. Starts with a 120, and after he's finished sanding with 120, then he'll sand with 220, then he'll sand with 320, and then even up to 400. And what that does is it takes all the little imperfections out of both the epoxy and the wood, and it polishes up. So then once we're finished with the sanding, we'll put a finish on it, and it'll look really nice. To give an idea of what it's possibly going to look like at the end, you can just take a little water and wash it off, and even though it's clear on that side and on this side, so once we get the finish on it, it'll be completely clear. It's a lot easier to sand right now on a full 3-foot long board, and then we'll take it over to the miter saw and cut it into 4-inch sections, pieces for our coasters. So we've got Paduke, maple, and Paduke. with clear epoxy. Then German's got Purple Heart Paduke and Purple Heart with some pure white metallic mixed in. So once he gets this all sanded up and polished, this should look really nice as well too. So the sanding is what pretty much takes the longest part now, because it is not something you just sand for 15 minutes and say you're done. There's little itty bitty pits in here that we get out, and it takes a while to get them out. Okay. Swing the form now. Because this is going to be an epoxy pour. This epoxy that we're using is a deep pour epoxy. It is going to take about 5 days to cure. It's a 2-to-1 ratio. So we start out with this part A, which is 2 parts, to this part B, which is 1 part. We've already done our pre-measuring. We have to find out the volume of how much epoxy is going to be used, and then once we find out the volume, length times width times height, then we change it over to ounces, and we've already pre-done that. We figured out that this one right here is going to take about 24 ounces to pour, and these two will take 12 ounces to pour. So we already got our cup. Since it's a 2-to-1 ratio, we'll fill up the 2 part A to 16 and the rest B to 24, and we'll mix it on up. So Ivan, you get ahead, get started on that. We might as well just pour all 3 of these. The 2 parts. There we go. Now we'll do a little pre-mixing first, just to get the color kind of mixed in there, and then we'll go back to the paddle. So you hang on to that. Slow down, Remember, don't fill one side up completely. Do half and half and half and half. Okay. Popping the air bubbles with the heat gun. Look at that. There you go. Do a pre-pour. A couple of days ago, we poured the first pour on this to seal the wood up. And then you wait for that to dry, and then you can go ahead and mix up your more epoxy and color. Out a little bit. Let's see then. This. Some swirls in it. That cool swirl effect going on.
This has been an AMP production.